Hey, what up everyone? This is FXLRST. It's been a minute since I posted a video. Today I was just gonna be replacing my stock risers on the Lowrider ST for a set of Big Al's Cycles 6-inch Bubba Clamp riser with the streetbob gauge relocation bracket. The reason why I went with the 6-inch riser compared to the 9.5-inch riser was I just kind of wanted something in between stock and like too high of a riser. I didn't want too high of a riser. I've ran them on my other bikes, and I just kind of wanted to keep this thing sort of close to stock height, so I decided just to go a couple inches taller because that seems to be all that I need. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on taking these old risers off. First thing I recommend is going to be to empty out your master cylinder. To do that, you're just going to remove the two screws on the top of your master cylinder, pop off that top, and you're going to want to drain the master cylinder because we will be replacing the upper brake line for a Big Al's Cycles extended brake line, top brake line kit. I'm not going to show that on camera, but basically what you have to do is drain your master cylinder. Easiest way is probably with like a little syringe. Suck all the old fluid out and empty it into a container and disregard it. And once you have that all drained, we're going to go ahead and remove these risers. So I don't believe it's necessary to remove the fairing, but I went ahead and removed the fairing just to prevent any scratches or anything like that. I know for sure you're going to have to remove your windshield to get in there to where the stock riser bolts are. So I just removed the fairing and windshield just to be safe, or at least the outer fairing. I didn't do that on camera because there's plenty of other videos to remove your fairing. You know, it's your basic remove the screws from the inner fairing. If you don't feel comfortable with doing that, you shouldn't be messing around with your bike, basically. So I didn't show that on camera. Next step is going to be to loosen up the riser bolts. To do that, you're going to take a 3/4 inch box end wrench, and you could reach in here and basically just crack those loose. You should be able to just do it by hand. They're not too tight from the factory, it didn't seem. So once you get those loose, you're going to go ahead and loosen those up, and then you're going to go ahead and remove your top clamp from your stock risers. Now that I got the riser bolts loose, I'm going to go ahead and loosen the 4 top clamp bolts that are on your top clamp of your risers. It's a 1/4 inch Allen. So yeah, go ahead and loosen those up and remove that top clamp. We're going to basically remove the gauge from our existing risers, and that's going to be retained onto the new risers, just in a different location. Once you're loosening these up, I kind of just put my arm up under the bars just to kind of keep them held up as you remove the last 2 bolts. Once your risers come loose, you're going to go ahead and get rid of those bolts there. I had already loosened up the top, or the 4 bolts for the gauge off camera, so you're going to go ahead and loosen those 4 screws once you get the top clamp off. And you can pull off your bars and just set them on your tank or off to the side. I strongly recommend getting some tank protection before you do any work. So bars are out. Like I said off camera, I pulled off the top clamp and removed the 4 screws that are holding on to the back of the top clamp. So those just pop. Once you get the top clamp off, you reach in there and 4 Torx screws to get that out, and this is gonna be reused onto the new set of bars, or set of risers, I'm sorry. That's gonna be retained. Bars are gonna be retained. Stock clutch cables, everything else stays stock except for the upper brake line that you're gonna have to extend, so hang tight. So now that top clamp and gauges are out of the way, you can finish off removing your upper or basically your risers. I got them all cracked loose on the bottom, so I'm just gonna hold the bottom and just twist these guys off. And this is all being done right now with the inner fairing on. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the risers. Alright, risers are off. You can replace your bushings if you want, your stock bushings. In order to do that, you just got to pop off these tops and pull out your old bushings. In order to do that, you're going to have to move your forks side by side, or side to side, in order to get these bolts all the way completely out. For time and for video purposes, I'm just gonna go ahead and mock up the bars with the stock riser bolts for now. One thing I want to mention is on the Big L Cycles relocation kit, it comes with a drill bit. So you're gonna want to remove these 4 little brass spacer deals that come on the gauge. And the Big L Cycle kit, the streetbob relocation gauge kit, comes with the drill bit, and basically you're going to just drill these guys out with the drill bit that it comes with in order to fit the new ARP bolts through it. Super simple. Just hold on to it with like a vice grip or something and just drill them out until they can fit the new ARP bolts that it comes with. And those are like super short and small, and that's going to be for the gauge relocation. Once you drill out your little spacers, you're actually going to pop them on through the top. Let's see. Yeah, so you're going to reinstall them on the top of your gauge going downwards. And this is the gauge relocation kit. Which comes with 4 little So this is the relocation kit with the gauges, your stock gauges set up with the ARP bolts that it comes with. And basically this bracket is going to mount onto our new riser top clamp. So next I'm going to go ahead and install the new riser. And what you're going to want to do once your final installs is Loctite these. But basically you're going to bolt your two risers to your riser bolts. So I got the one side on, just kind of hand tighten for now. Same step on the other side. Just going to thread your riser on, or vice versa from the bottom up. So you get it sort of tight for now by hand. And then we're just gonna go ahead and put the stock bars back up on to the new risers and install the new Big L's top clamp with the 4 ARP bolts that it comes with. And that's gonna match up with our gauge relocation. Once you got your bars up on there and your top clamp kind of on, go ahead and snug down your 4 ARP bolts on that top clamp until you get it in the right position that you want. I'm basically getting it so my master cylinder sits level how it was before. Sorry for now, I'm just kind of tightening these up for video purposes. Sorry for the shitty video quality and angles. So right now I'm just finger tightening everything. Just for video purposes. Okay, so I've got the top clamp and gauge setup installed with the new Big L's 6-inch risers. I'm retaining the stock clutch cable and gauge cable or gauge wires. Everything is stock except for I replaced the top brake cable with the Big L's 24-inch brake cable that they have on his site. Comes with the new crush washers, and you're just retaining the stock bolt for that. I'm gonna have to bleed the brakes. I know it's ABS, but should be good to go, just bleeding it normally. Right now this is empty, I gotta fill that up. That's gonna be a whole nother ball game. For now I just got the risers installed for a little bit taller than stock look, retaining the stock clutch cable and gauge wires and all that.